In May, a company called Chatbase crossed $10 million a year in revenue. 18 people. Zero venture capital. The founder started building it the week ChatGPT launched, tweeted a demo to his 16 followers, and got his first paying customer 30 minutes after putting up a pricing page. And 2 months ago, it did something special. It got too big for the board you're about to see. Same story with Aragon, the AI headshot company. 10 million a year, 9 people, in 2 years. Both of them just graduated. So welcome to the Microcap Exchange, the first AI money report. This is where I list the tiny AI companies under 10 million in revenue, most of them under 10 employees, some of them one single person, and put their real numbers on the board. And here's the rule that makes this different from every other list on the internet. Every single number today wears a stamp. Stripe verified means a third party actually checked the payment data. Self-reported means the founder said it and I found the receipt. Analyst estimate and press report mean exactly what they sound like. No stamp, no listing. By the end, I'll show you the one chart from this whole board that I genuinely think you should screenshot. Opening bell. Let's trade. Listing number 1 and the loudest ticker on the floor, Photo AI. One person, Peter Levels. You upload your photos, it trains a model, and it generates photorealistic pictures of you for dating profiles, for headshots, for anything. In March, he published the number on his own blog, $105,000 a month in revenue, 80,000 of that pure profit. That's a 76% margin. A later post put it at 150,000 a month. Stamp. Self-reported. But founder published from a Stripe-connected dashboard he's shown publicly for years. Now the part that should break your brain. The entire product famously runs on one PHP file. 40,870 lines, one file, no framework. $0 raised, no employees, which means revenue per employee is the whole company. Over $1 million per person? What would you actually need to compete with this? An image model you can fine-tune, a payment page, and an audience. That last one is the real moat. He had 100,000 followers before he launched. Remember that, it's going to come up again. Listing number 2, TypingMind. And this one is personal for everyone watching who builds with AI, because TypingMind is the company everyone said couldn't exist. It's a wrapper. Literally, a nicer chat interface that you point at GPT or Claude with your own API key. The internet has spent 3 years laughing at wrappers. Meanwhile, Tony Din, one person, reported in his October newsletter that it makes between $130,000 and $160,000 a month. Stamp, self-reported, from a founder who has published his numbers monthly for years. One honest asterisk, and his own newsletter makes it. A chunk of that is one-time lifetime licenses, not subscriptions. Recurring revenue only recently passed half. So don't call it ARR, call it what it is. Roughly 1.6 to 1.9 million a year, run by one man. The lesson isn't subtle. The models are commodities anyone can rent. The experience of using them is not. He didn't build the intelligence. He built the room you sit in while you use it. Bootstrapped, solo, and every company on this board pays the same model bills he does. Listing number 3, and this is the cleanest number on the entire board, StoryShort. It generates faceless short-form videos from a text prompt, script, voiceover, visuals, captions, done for TikTok and YouTube. Revenue, $22,333 a month. And here's why I love this listing. Stamp, Stripe verified. A service called Trust MRR connects directly to the company's Stripe account through the API and publishes the real number. I checked it this morning. That is the only number today that a third party has actually verified at the payment layer, which is why it's the smallest headline figure on the board and somehow the most trustworthy. The founder is Samuel Rondeau from France, solo bootstrapped, and here's the kicker. He was learning to code while building it. started in August 2024, and it's part of a 3 product portfolio doing 28,000 a month combined. The stack is nothing exotic. Next.js is on Vercel, Node on AWS, MongoDB and AI APIs doing the heavy lifting. A faceless video generator built by a beginner, out earning most people's salaries. That's the microcap game. Listing number 4, SiteGPT, a chatbot you train on your own website so it answers your customers' questions like someone who actually read your docs. Founder, Bhanu Teja Pachipulusu, solo. Total startup cost, about $500. First month, $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue. Within 6 months, he touched 15,000 a month and did about 175,000 in year 1. Stamp, self-reported. But this founder builds in public with monthly updates, and that's exactly why this listing matters, because his latest update from August reads $10,183 a month. That's down from the peak. He publishes the down months too. Churn is real. Competition is real. This exact category is the one Chatbase, our $10 million graduate, plays in. And that's the honest shape of most microcaps. Not a rocket, a fight. A one-person company holding 6 figures a year against a graduate 18 times its size, with $2,000 a month in expenses and margins most businesses would kill for. The board doesn't only list winners at their peak, it lists the truth. Listing number 5, and this is the one where I teach you to read the fine print. Leadmore AI. Solo founder, Richard Wang, quit his job, built a tool that finds your customers on Reddit and markets to them. December, $30,000 a month, 4 months after launch, with $0 spent on marketing. Stamp, self-reported. Then in February, he posted that it crossed $1 million ARR. And here's why this listing is really on the board. He disclosed his own math. That 1 million is one good day of revenue multiplied by 365. He said so himself. That is not annual recurring revenue. That is a run rate from a peak day. And now, you know to check that in every founder tweet you ever read. 2 more flags for the honest column. This spring brought a cluster of negative reviews about credits and support, and the product works partly by posting from its own network of managed Reddit accounts, which Reddit is not exactly thrilled about as a category. So, real product, real growth, softest number on the board. The stamp system exists because of listings like this one. Hold the ticker. 5 listings in, and there's one ticker that has never appeared on this board. Yours. Real talk. 90% of you watching haven't backed this channel. On YouTube, hit join and become a member. That is what funds the verification work behind every stamp on this board. On Facebook, hit subscribe, the supporter button. That keeps the lights on. And if a membership isn't for you, a free subscribe still tells the algorithm to send you more. Ring the bell. Now, the 4-person team that found a market inside the AI's own answers. Listing number 6 is a double ticker. Mentions and Kleo, 2 products, 1 4-person team. Mentions does something that could not have existed 2 years ago. It tracks whether your brand shows up when people ask ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or Gemini for recommendations. Because that's where buying decisions are moving, and brands are blind there. $20,000 a month as of their New Year's Eve interview. Their sister product, Kleo, a LinkedIn content tool, $62,000 a month. Combined, $82,000 of monthly revenue. Stamp, self-reported from the same primary interview. But here's the actual lesson of this listing. The team. Cameron True builds it, and his co-founders include Jake Ward and Lara Acosta, who walk in with roughly 480,000 LinkedIn followers between them. They didn't build a product and then look for customers. They built an audience for years, then aimed it at products. Distribution first, product second. It's the photo AI lesson again, industrialized. And notice the category itself. They're selling visibility inside AI answers. The gold rush isn't just using the models. It's every new problem the models create. Now walk with me to the other side of the trading floor, where the venture-backed tickers live, because this is where today's report gets uncomfortable. Exa builds AI native search, real infrastructure, used by serious agent builders. Analyst estimate from Sacra, about 10 million in annualized revenue as of September. To get there, they've raised about $361 million, and their last round valued them at $2.2 billion, with about 82 employees. Then there's Aaru, which simulates survey respondents with AI agents. TechCrunch reported in December. Revenue still below 10 million a year, and a Series A above $50 million at a headline valuation of 1 billion. Stamp, press report. Read that again. $1 billion valuation on less revenue than some of the solo founders earlier on this board have receipts for. To be fair, venture capital is a different game. They're buying a shot at owning infrastructure, not this year's profit. But the revenue per person math is savage. Exa's estimate works out to about 120,000 per employee. Peter Levels does 10 times that, alone at an 80% margin. And one more thing, because the stamp system cuts both ways, Gumloop, the hot drag and drop agent startup, $17 million Series A, customers like Instacart, I went looking for their revenue number. It does not exist anywhere from anyone credible. So they're not on the board. That's what no stamp, no listing means. And now the chart I promised. The one to screenshot. The revenue per person leaderboard. At the bottom, the $2.2 billion company, about 120,000 per employee. The $10 million graduates, Chatbase, around 550,000 per person. Aragon, about $1 million per person. And at the very top, the solo founders. Tony Din, 1.6 million plus. Peter Levels, up to 1.8. The smallest companies on this board have the highest revenue per human in the entire industry, and it is not close. That's the report. 3 patterns before the bell. Every single core listing is either a wrapper, a niche tool, or a service on top of models anyone watching can rent tonight. Nobody on this board trained a frontier model. Every one of them shipped embarrassingly fast. 1 PHP file, a beginner learning to code in public. And the winners all had distribution before they had a product. One last number that ties the whole board together. Zigpol, a bootstrapped survey company I cut from this list for not being AI enough, disclosed this month that 14% of its new signups now arrive because ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini recommended it. The models aren't just the product anymore. They're becoming the sales channel. If you remember one thing from report number 1, make it that. So there's the closing bell on the first AI money report. 2 graduates, 6 listings with stamped receipts, 1 company we refuse to list, and 1 leaderboard that says the leverage has never been this tilted towards small. If you want the full exchange sheet, I built a free PDF. Every listing with its revenue, stamp, source link, team size, and the honest what you'd need to compete breakdown for each one, plus the 3 patterns as a checklist. Comment the word microcap and I'll send it straight to you. Or grab it at hyperautomationlabs.co/free/microcap. If you're just starting to build with AI, the beginner guides linked below will get you moving fast. And if this report earned its spot in your feed, back the desk that verifies the numbers. Become a member here on YouTube and a subscriber, the supporter button on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. This board updates monthly. Next report. The 10 to 100 million tier. The playbooks that scaled. And tell me in the comments, which listing would you compete with first?